Hi guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we're checking out Europe is a terrible country. I don't know if this is a satire type of situation or is this real, but Europe is not a country. But anyways, beautiful peeps, let's find out. Before we do start, don't forget to subscribe, click the bell button, and let's see.
I'm an American who just traveled to Europe for the first time, and I will never return to that country. Here's why. First of all, European cities are so obnoxiously anti car. Their sidewalks are massive, so their roads are tiny, and parking is non existent. Look at Madrid, Mexico, and compare it to Dallas, Texas. It took me hours just to park my Cybertruck once in Madrid. In fact, I might have been the only guy in the entire country with a pickup truck. But the worst part about driving in Europe is that you have to stop for people crossing the street, which means it takes forever to get anywhere. And you'll have to go everywhere because they have no Walmarts in the entire country where you could be doing all your shopping in one place. Driving on the highways is at least a little better, but watch out.
Okay, I think it's kind of a satire situation, but he's trying to like show you what's great about US, but in my ears doesn't sound great. But let's continue.
All your shopping in one place. Driving on the highways is at least a little better, but watch out because they use a strange, archaic, and frankly xenophobic system of measurements called the metric system. So you'll see signs
Why is
with
it xenophobic?
kilometers per hour instead of miles per hour. I think I heard someone say that one
Kilometers.
kilometer is like 1,000
Nah,
miles or
this is a
some shit.
joke.
They also use meters instead of feet, which is stupid. The length of 1 foot is easy to remember because it's 1 foot. But 1 meter is like 1/3 of my entire body. You know, I'm not even sure if they count hours the same over there. Are European hours the
Nah,
same
he's
as American
joking.
hours? Because every train I tried to ride in Germany was at least 30 minutes late, and once I was stuck in hell, I mean the
Oh,
Frankfurt
damn.
Hauptbahnhof for 9 American hours. Our train system in the
Nine
United
American
States of
hours.
America is far more comprehensive and efficient. And public bathrooms are a nightmare in the country of Europe. If you somehow find a spot to park, you'll need to locate a bathroom which will be marked by the insane WC abbreviation, which I can only imagine is a dog whistle for world communism. And these bathrooms are torture. In America, we have huge cracks in our bathroom stalls, which make defecating an open, communal experience. But in Europe, the stalls
No,
cover
thank
not
you.
just the cracks in the side, but the entire doorway. So yeah, you can't make eye contact with other men while you do your business. I always felt so alone in those
Which I
stalls.
love.
And don't even get me started on European food. They use natural ingredients, which were very
Nah.
disruptive to the
Okay, I get it now. He's really okay. He's shitting on America. I just got it. Yes, I know it was comical in the beginning, but I thought he wanted to like prove that it's still better in America. But now I think he's doing the opposite of that.
on European food. They use natural ingredients, which were very
Natural.
disruptive to the
Oh,
carefully artificial gut
disgusting.
microbiome that I incubated stateside.
Just
And they
kidding,
banned
guys.
all the good shit in Europe, like potassium bromate and azobicarbonamide, which means their bread tastes like shit and isn't soft. I'd rather eat Wonder Bread than a giant stick of natural dog water. And Europeans don't even use butylated hydroxyniazole, which is my favorite
What is
synthetic
that?
petrochemical antioxidant, which keeps our food preserved well for thousands of years in
Oh my
America. They
gosh,
must
that's
waste so much food in Europe because it all expires in a week. And restaurants suck in their country because the waiters don't check in to see how you're doing every 5 seconds like they do in America. I'd like to keep my waiter updated, but at least this wasn't as
nah. It's
isolating as the
annoying.
bathroom stall. At least you don't have to pay or tip or whatever. It sure didn't feel like I was paying with the Monopoly money they use over there. And the water in restaurants has bubbles in it. You'd think it would just be some textural difference with fizz, but no, the bubble water tastes like hot dog water. Thankfully, they do still have good, nutritious food at a few normal and healthy restaurants like McDonald's, Burger
McDonald's, I
King,
knew it.
Starbucks, KFC, and Chinese food. But their grocery stores are terrible. You won't find any necessities like Feastables, Twinkies, Goober, and they have no good
Feast the
breakfast
balls,
cereal.
huh?
And one time I asked the worker at the deli if they had American cheese, and she stared at me dumbfounded like I had something wrong with my eyes. Politics Politics are
How
also
does he do
terrible in
that?
Europe. There are dozens of political parties everywhere that try to represent all the citizens' viewpoints and create a fair and balanced democracy. That's disgusting and confusing. There are too many choices. We keep it simple with just two parties who always run amazing candidates, and if you look deep enough, they sort of are the same thing anyway, which makes things easier. Laws in Europe are also busted. I stayed in a hostel when I was there, which is like a prison for poor people who want to travel. And I was stuck with, and I kid you not, 30 drunk 10-year-olds screaming in Slovakian all night because the drinking age in Europe is 5, and their
Oh,
climate policy is absurd. Yes, I think climate change is a problem that must be resolved, but Europeans take it to the extreme. European water bottles are ass. Every water bottle has a cap that is fused to the bottle with some black magic, so it's physically impossible to remove it. It sucks, but apparently, if we keep the caps attached, the Netherlands won't sink underwater, so it's not even a worthwhile cause. And did you
oh,
know that Europeans have free healthcare? That is outrageous. When I have an ailment, the last thing that I want is fast and affordable service. If healthcare is free, you don't feel like you earned it. I want to work for my healthcare. Crippling medical
no.
debt makes you a man. And I'm not even sure that they have medication in that country. I spent most of the day just sitting inside and watching TV, and I didn't see one pharmaceutical drug advertisement. How do Europeans know what to ask for from their doctors? Do they even have doctors? Then, when you go to college in Europe, just like healthcare, it's free. But if it's free, where's the challenge? Where's the Sigma grind set? And you know how we have awesome Greek life at our colleges? Well, one of the
Greek life.
states in Europe is literally perpetually LARPing as our awesome collegiate Greek life system. Europe just seems like the tutorial level. Everything there is too easy. They work much less in a week than we do, and they get tons of extended breaks and even like 30 days paid vacation. That's way too much. All Europeans do all day is pick mushrooms, smoke cigarettes, make fun of Americans, and smoke cigarettes. Get back to work. Workers are meant to grind. And why do they have paid maternity leave? Give birth at your desk. That's what my mom did, and I turned out perfectly fine.
Oh,
Us
yeah, we can
Americans
see.
understand that money is the most important thing on the planet, so we sacrifice our quality of life to make sure we can get more into the hands of our billionaire CEOs. And their sports are so stupid. Soccer is a soy boy, wojak ass sport that nobody would be caught dead playing publicly in the United States. But Europeans love it. And the worst part is that they call it football, which makes
Because
no
it's freaking
sense. Look,
football.
they're using their hands. What happened to the foot in the football? This is real football, because see, he's kicking it with his foot. We're the
You're
real kings
right.
of football, and that's why we say we're world champs when we win the Super Bowl. And I
Mhm.
tried watching one of their soccer games, and it was the most boring experience of my life. The score was 0-0 after 90 minutes. I'd rather watch Turkish oil wrestling with my gay
Oh
uncle than
no.
this. And the last point I want to underline is that Europe is a scam. All my life I wanted to
Mhm.
go to Paris. They said it was the city of love, full of art and beauty, but I was robbed within the first hour of being there. And I
Oh,
was
like
repeatedly scammed
literally.
all over the country. The only state of Europe that I even moderately enjoyed was Turkey.
State.
The American
Oh.
politicians were right. Europe is not free like we're free here in America. I'm never leaving
How
Florida
does he
again.
do that? That was crazy. Crazy. He knows what yeah, it's all true. Very, very true. Um wow. 5-year olds drinking age. Obviously, not true. But who knows? It's probably true in that side of the world. But anyways, this has been super fun. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.